Good morning and welcome back to the New Forest on a late February morning where the sun is threatening to make a rare appearance. This then is a look back at some of the things that went on in the forest during January and February this year. We had a rare visitor down at the marshes at Lymington and we saw some very early chicks, so look out for those. First though, here's a weather report. The year had an exciting start weather-wise, with heavy rain and wind. Sarah Webber captured this beautifully down at Lepe Beach. Then we had a few days of quieter weather, but colder and brighter with frosts at night. Soon the rain returned with a vengeance, and we had floods. The New Forest got off lightly though, as most of the country was covered in snow. All of this water has to go somewhere, and many of the villages in the New Forest have a system of ditches and pipes to take the surface water down to the nearest stream or river. This works fine if the ditches and pipes are kept clear of obstructions. Householders who have a ditch or pipe adjacent to their property are required to keep these waterways clear. This is known as the Riparian Rights of the property. If the ditches are not kept clear, there's a danger that the waterways will overflow and properties could be flooded, so it's very important that householders with riparian rights keep their waterways clear. In the second week of January, I heard an optimistic song thrush singing above the noise of the nearby traffic. He's making an early impression to find a mate. After the storms, the weather was very quiet for most of January, with dull, dry grey days, interspersed with the odd sunny day. No rain for a couple of weeks. It was almost as if the weather was doing dry January. Down on the coast at Keyhaven, a rare winter visitor arrived, a lesser Yellowleg. These pictures, taken by Steve Laycock, show the bird which is more commonly found in North America. This is only the second lesser Yellowleg to be recorded in Hampshire during the winter. A more common sight in recent times on the coast are spoonbills. These lovely pictures by Yvonne Williams show a spoonbill in flight, making a very impressive display. Towards the end of January, Sarah Smith photographed this family of great crested grebes. These birds often nest in February, but these chicks are very early and seem to be thriving. These birds are breeding on a lake just outside of the New Forest, but I couldn't resist including them. The Hampshire Hedge is an ambitious initiative to connect the two national parks in Hampshire, the South Downs National Park near Winchester and the New Forest National Park, with a nature recovery corridor of hedgerow. Volunteers have been very busy planting tree saplings in various locations between Copythorne in the New Forest and the South Downs. On the day I helped out, it was a very wet group of volunteers, but we still enjoyed the day doing something very worthwhile. The hedge will wind its way through the central heart of Hampshire parishes and link woodlands, meadows, local nature reserves and sites of special scientific interest. We'll look forward to seeing the hedge growing over the coming years. Down at Blashford Lakes, there's always something interesting to see. And in January, Sally Oakley Qajar captured a stunning sequence of images of a cormorant attempting to eat a fish. The cormorant had caught the large fish, which was actually a smallish pike, but had difficulty in manoeuvring the fish round so that he or she could swallow it. At first, it seemed that the slippery fish might wriggle free and swim away. Then another cormorant appeared, intent on stealing the fish. The first cormorant redoubled its efforts and managed to swallow the fish whole, much to the annoyance of the intruder. Holly trees grow in abundance throughout the New Forest. Every year, sections of holly are cut back to open up the forest floor and encourage new growth. The holly branches are left scattered across the forest floor to rot down. They're a great source of nutrition for the New Forest ponies and donkeys, who don't seem to mind the sharp holly prickles. This is especially important in the winter, as food's limited when the grass doesn't grow. Some references say that holly's toxic for horses to eat, but this doesn't seem to be the case with holly found in Britain. Ponies have been eating holly for many years in the forest, without serious consequences, as far as I know. Apart from the beginning and end of February, most days were dull and grey. The catkins began to appear on the willow trees, and when the sun did come out, there was a feeling that spring was just around the corner. The end of February was brighter, but wetter. The daffodils and snowdrop flowers appeared, always a good sign. The birds began to sing, an even better sign, and I'm sure we'll hear more of the dawn chorus in the next edition of the New Forest Video Diary, which will be available from the end of April. Come back then and see what else has been going on. Please share this video with friends who might be interested, and thanks very much for watching.